and our great Phil. Our great Phil.
Great Phil.
Welcome once again to the Unfiltered podcast, where pathological truth-seeking is the aim and comedy and laughter always the game. I'm here with the usuals plus a special. First of all is Dan Raj,
Hello.
Enes Young, and our great friend Shaiful Risan.
Shaiful Risan, but I'll take that.
Risan lah.
Risan.
Okay, I stand
Pronounce
corrected.
properly, are you?
What does Risan stand for?
I know everything happens for Risan. Haha.
And Shaiful is here today because this man has hit 180,000 views on Instagram recently.
Why are Malays always late? It's simple. It's in our food. You can rush through pizza, sandwiches, bak chor mee, and all these other fancy food. How to rush through nasi sambal goreng, nasi lemak, mee rebus? It takes a while to digest. And after that, Malay standard, one cigarette, one coffee, one tea, another cigarette. The relax one corner thing is a bit overrated, okay? I can now relax anywhere.
Which is a huge number for any of our CATC reels. So give him a round of applause for that.
I didn't do anything, guys.
But our producers posted it and he did the joke. So he
See,
did a lot.
that's the problem. He do nothing, got 180,000 views. I do a lot of things. I only got 20 followers on TikTok.
Yeah, so I did nothing. Said the Malay guy.
It's the most productive when we do nothing.
We're in fine voice here. And our first topic of the day is here in Singapore, there's something called a wedding Angbao. Now, when I got here in the mid-90s, if you could give $88 at a wedding, that was deemed as quite respectable. But now, things have developed. Inflation has taken hold. And what's going on in these days with a wedding Angbao? Enes Young.
Before I go into this wedding ang pao thing, right? I would like to congratulate us from having the full suite of diversity here. The Chinese, the Malay, Indian, and the other races that don't matter. Right? Yeah, so, and we are seated in the descending order of importance to Singapore. Right? I think that's great so-called improvement for us.
And we also sit that on increasing order of size.
Ascending, you mean ascending order?
Jerry, you gotta move here, Jerry. You gotta change.
You wish. I'm the only Negro on this sofa, son.
Yeah.
It's skin color, man.
No lah.
Yeah, so coming back to what Jerry introduced, right? To stop him, Chinese wedding dinners is a force of its own because the amount of angpaos, the amount of pressure that we have to when we go to a wedding dinner and to think about like how much should we give in the angpao, the pressure is so great that you have websites that we are going to show later that gives you suggested so-called angpao prices that you need to pao for each so-called like hotel. You know, like 4-star hotel, 3-star hotel, 5-star hotel.
Right.
And to me, this is ridiculous, right? Because I mean, you're asking people to come to celebrate your wedding, and then you're giving people so much pressure to. You see, the most expensive is $400 for just going to a wedding dinner that's with lousy food.
Would that not result in people hoping that you don't invite them?
Yeah, sometimes. Okay, last time what we do is that for Chinese, right? If we don't want to go to a wedding dinner, we'll just so-called give a very token sum to say I couldn't go. So here's my tokens ang pao. So sometimes if it gets too expensive, we'll just like give $60 and say that, I can't attend. No, that kind of thing. But this puts so much pressure because not everyone can afford to give $400, right? And I think Chinese are the only people who have this kind of thing. Because the very first time I went to a Malay wedding in my friend's void deck, right? I give $50. And my friend was like, say, sialah, I got $50. And after I finished the biryani, I still was sitting there. He said, hey, bro, you got to go already because the next round of guests is coming. So I say, only Chinese people got this kind of ridiculous expectations of the guests, you know. Right? I don't know whether it's true what I say. It's like, I don't know whether about Indian weddings or Malay weddings, they all have this kind of ridiculous expectations.
So during COVID, they didn't get much money.
Yeah, that's why not many people got married. Right?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, because they couldn't earn. You know, actually, some people earn money from.
So I'm going to ask, right? I mean, weddings, what the hell?
Yeah.
Fire the producer, right? So I was just going to ask, does that mean that some weddings actually come out in a profit
Yes.
after all the hotel and the catering and all that?
Yes, some people actually make a profit, especially from friends. The relatives are the cheapskate one. The relatives will bring their 3 daughters and all their children, everything. They only give one person's money.
Well, I tell you the only thing that annoyed me at Chinese weddings
Yeah.
when I first got here, right? First of all, you all are later than black people in UK. No, I thought we were bad. But when I saw how late weddings start here, I was shocked. There was that. And the second one was this. You have 13 courses in this meal, right? Now, I am quite annoying in that I can't eat seafood. So you serve a lot of atas, expensive food, a lot of seafood, a lot of this, that, the next thing. I'm waiting for the chicken. When the chicken turns up, everybody whack, right? And I've been starving for 12 courses. It's almost last course. I cannot get enough, which means that the 14-course meal, in my opinion, is a waste of showboating.
Hey, but seriously,
Just put some chicken rice and everybody will go home happy.
But seriously, if you just show your black face, I think the Chinese people all scared one.
Well, they wasn't scared enough to stop eating. They
So-
left me with no chicken.
So is it true that black people like fried chicken?
Yes, of course it's true. Who the hell doesn't like fried chicken? We just eat it in public.
No, so what do you all do in for wedding in Angbaos countries?
What you mean in the ways of an Angpao?
Yeah, like you all give angpao or what do you all give?
No, we give a gift. So like normally say it's a new couple, so they just moved into a new house or an apartment. Maybe they don't have a microwave. Maybe they don't have a fridge.
So they have a gift website, right? We can choose. They already say what are the gifts that they want.
Yes, that's right. So, or they would make a list, and before you even turn up at the wedding, each guest knows what they're going to give, and it's normally things to do with decorating the house to help me get ahead. But it's not normally. You can give cash, but that wasn't common.
I mean, you look at some of the list there, right? For example, Sofitel Sentosa, the cliff. After giving $271, I really want to jump off the cliff. Then the RWS, the aquarium, 343. I want to drown myself inside the aquarium.
The other Hindu gods, right, had the same problems.
Is it?
Hindu gods.
How?
There is a temple in India, okay, where this Hindu god actually had to borrow money from
From who?
some guy called Kuberan
Okay.
to actually have his wedding. This Hindu god called Vishnu, he was going to marry this person called Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth. So he did a very grand wedding.
Mm.
Okay, and then after that, when the wedding was over, the money they collected, right, was not enough to pay back the debt. So the devotees, right, had to build a temple so that the devotees can help, Vishnu?
Collect entrance fee.
to pay the debt. But he
Who
got
pay-
married to the goddess of wealth, which is kind of ironic that he can't pay the.
No, so in Indian weddings, do you all have like something similar that you all like have some standard?
I think the amount is quite low, which is why the Hindu god couldn't pay.
pay
His,
through the debt?
the amount is quite low.
But who paid to build the temple?
The devotees. I think
So
That is a very-
the Hindu gods have to borrow money to get married.
this Hindu god called Vishnu
Okay.
was not a real forward thinker. I think
Okay.
He
was
wasn't.
not financial savvy.
Not very capitalist.
He
He
was-
was going to marry the goddess of wealth.
Okay.
He actually borrowed a lot of money to conduct the wedding. And then when the money that he collected was not enough, he didn't ask his wife to print some notes. The goddess of wealth, he married the goddess of wealth, and he's still in debt. And the devotees had to give money now. It's a very serious thing. When they can't give money, right, they'll give up their hair. They'll cut botak. They'll give whatever they have so that God can pay his debt.
Okay, but this thing now, right, about Ang Paos, right, it's very Chinese custom. But because Singapore is such a mixed society, Malays have a version of an Ang Pao now as well, right? A green packet.
Yeah, we call it duit salam, which is really whatever you can put inside. And it's for me, it's still the best way to celebrate a wedding because it should not be a profit-making or cost-covering event. Although I've been quiet this time around because now I'm thinking about we should not be concerned about what goes into the green package. We
You
should
know.
be concerned about divorce rates, shotgun weddings, which happens all the time. I know a lot of people who shotgun weddings.
What's a
but
shotgun wedding?
it's like, you
For the
know,
viewers who don't know what shotgun wedding.
well, basically unplanned pregnancy, and thus you got to have a wedding, lah. You know, just to basically save face, and you know, it depends. It's up to the individual. Right now. I'm looking at that. I'm evaluating. Okay, I think my wife should be Chinese, lah.
You know, Chinese wedding dinner is such a face thing in Taiwan. In Taiwan, it's even worse. You know, Taiwan, when you go to the wedding, to the reception table, right, and you give your Angpao, they are actually the receptionist is actually expected to say, "Mr. Ng, 6,000 Taiwan dollars."
Wow.
They shout loudly
Lord, man.
to everyone. So you're under pressure. You know, imagine if you are giving like very little. No, they are going to like say, announce it, Mr. Ng, Jackie, you know, $6,000.
Oh, really?
Man, that is brutal, man.
You know, this Chinese like face thing is like ridiculous, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So for me, if I'm going to get married, which unfortunately I think I'm not going to, I think I'm going to do a potluck concept.
Bring your own food.
Yeah, that means I go like the table, and table easy to rent, right? Because Chinese funeral, the supplier also same one. You just rent the same table,
Jesus,
right? You
Lord.
put at the void deck. Then I just charge admin fee from my friends, $10. Then you're going to organize yourself what you want to bring to eat. Then your potluck and sit at one table. Then I create WhatsApp group. Then I think cheap, what? Everyone happy, what?
Okay, then have a different kind of wedding, lah.
Yeah,
You're Christian,
Yeah,
right?
Christian.
So just have the wedding in the church.
But I think my pastor don't want to recognize me, because I do stand-up comedy. Yeah, I thought,
Something quite miraculous happened recently. There was a beauty pageant in Zimbabwe, and the winner was a white lady. This has caused uproar in certain circles. Here's a video of that uproar. Let's take a quick look at that.
Their Miss Zimbabwe Queen. For the first time in 22 years, the country is participating in the Miss Universe contest. But take one look at the winner and you might guess who got really upset about this. Despite the fact that Zimbabwe is made up of millions and millions of people, black people only compose 2% of their massive population. This woman is under some massive fire simply for winning and being white, with people taking to social media, etc., to be like, my ancestors are rolling in their graves, because the two runners-up were women of colour.
Well,
White one won, and it wasn't okay.
At least it was a woman. I mean, remember in the Netherlands, the Miss Netherlands was actually a transgender person. So, you know.
Firstly, Jerry, can you educate our viewers, because those that never studied geography, where is Zimbabwe?
Okay, Zimbabwe was formerly known as Rhodesia, and it's right next to South Africa.
Where is
Right.
South Africa? Oh, south of Africa.
The southern part of Africa. If you don't know where Africa is, fuck off. Okay, so do you guys see anything wrong with Miss Zimbabwe being white?
No.
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 Because you see, if a black girl or a colored person can win the same kind of award in a white.
So did you hear that? Colored person, right? That's cancellation. Person of color. It's the same difference, right? But apparently, if you say colored person or person of color, in the echelons of wokeness, what you just said is very rude. But if you say the person of color, again, said. Anyway, carry on.
Okay, no, I am a person of color.
Uh-huh.
So I just say whatever I want.
No.
You have all rights to say whatever you want. That's why you see the Chinese very quiet.
Yes, sir. So, okay, anyway. So you know color, right? Yellow is color, right?
I'm majority here in Singapore, so I cannot talk too much.
So, if a black person or a person of blackness, okay,
Jesus Christ.
so if a person of blackness can actually win for the US or any other white country, right? Then in a black country, a white person winning should be encouraged.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right?
Yeah, you understand that. But unfortunately, liberals have no common sense. And they can't understand that.
So that means white girls staying in African countries, they cannot win any pageants.
No, because diversity is code language for any people except white people, especially white men. And on top of that, if they're white Christian men, they are not part of the multicultural equation, right? So she, being a white woman, when you talk about diversity, no. Diversity means everyone else but white people. That's why there's an uproar.
So I can't believe I'm saying this,
Uh,
but I really feel bad for white people.
That's fine. They're human beings.
They went through when they did oppress non-white people for some time, for some reasons. But to treat people like this, especially now that we are coming to a point where race doesn't matter anymore, then even white race shouldn't matter. We shouldn't see them as white people. We should just be fair to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah, regardless of skin color. Right? That should be the way.
Yeah. You could get cancelled for that.
For saying this.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
When I saw that, things were in my mind like, why is there even an uproar? Is she locally from Zimbabwe? Was she raised there? Was she an immigrant? Is she?
Yes.
But
she's Zimbabwean.
Does she embody the local traits of someone in Zimbabwe? And the capital Harare already has migrants from everywhere else. You know, people from the Caribbean, people from white nations. So I'm also not surprised if she had some ancestry from Zimbabwe. I mean, we have imported other people into Singapore to play table tennis, right?
Yeah.
And then call them Singaporeans. So it's a bit contentious, lah.
But Shai, there's a big difference, right? From importing a table tennis champion to become Singaporean.
Yeah.
And someone who has been living in Singapore since young.
Yeah, I know, I understand.
And our culture gave rise to such a talent.
So that's precisely my point. If let's say people do not have an issue with imported nationalities into Singapore, why should anyone have a problem with a Zimbabwe-bred and grown white lady winning the crown, lah? So for me, it's a bit of a unnecessary hoo-ha, lah. I mean, I had no idea this even took place actually.
It's quite sad that even is a point for discussion for people online. You know that they have to discuss whether a white woman winning a Zimbabwe pageant is worth.
But you know why it's such a big problem, right? Because this pertains to black women, and anything that's foreseen as an aggression towards black women, that gets more noise than anything else. Because apparently they're the most marginalized, oppressed people.
In Zimbabwe?
No, in the world. In the woke annals of understanding the planet, black women are the most oppressed and marginalized.
How do the people in Zimbabwe feel about the minority race winning the pageant?
Black people on the internet are furious and outraged surrounding the controversy of Miss Zimbabwe and what is causing people to be so upset. It turns out the beauty competition crowned a white winner. And as you can see, all the winners in the past have been black. Angry locals are now demanding that a black woman should be crowned the queen. It's a country where 14 million black people live and only 2% of the population is white. People are saying things like they want to know why a white person is even allowed to represent their country in the first place.
This is the thing here. There's something here that we must really encourage. The white woman, before she took part in this pageant, she must have felt that it's going to be disadvantageous for her. But she didn't stop trying. She went for the thing. She did her best, probably, and she won.
Yeah.
So this should be something that is celebrated throughout the world. Instead of us
Good luck with that.
special treatment to other minorities, we should encourage minorities to fight for their rights.
So basically, the only contentious thing I mean, if anyone were to launch an investigation, it would be. Was there any preferential treatment? And then that's when, we have something to talk about.
Was she judged in previous pageants or is this the first time?
I don't know. They didn't mention that.
I mean, if this was a meritocratic win, then okay, fair game lah. But if it was rigged, then something's
No,
happening.
but at least beauty pageants cannot be a meritocratic win because it's based on judges, right? Judges are humans.
But judges have criteria, of course. Then
Yeah.
it's
But it's not going to be meritocratic because it's not like a fixed thing. It's not like weightlifting, where if you don't carry this amount of weight, you can't win.
That's true.
It's, still, it's just an opinion.
Your opinion, right?
In addition to the judges, is there anyone else that is also voting or
they
no?
call, must call 1-900-911.
Yeah, is there such a thing
No,
there?
if it's going to be because of voting. Is not the best candidate won. It is the most popular.
Okay.
So it's not going to be a fair thing in a beauty pageant because looks cannot be fixed. I mean, it cannot be
Negotiated
on paper.
Actually, good point there. And another thing that I don't like about modern beauty pageants is when they insist on the lady being educated. Like, Miss Universe, now you must have a degree, must have general knowledge, some sort of worldview, agreeing on things like the world should be carbon neutral by 2025, all this kind of stuff. I don't agree with that. It should just be judged on looks. If you can't read, makes no difference. If you just have a perfect figure and a perfectly symmetrical face, that should be enough to win that competition. Don't bring the academics into it.
Yeah, but there should be other things also, like swimsuit, catwalk, how graceful they are. Because looks, right? Being graceful has to add to looks, right?
Yeah, that's all part of the aesthetic.
Aesthetic, yes.
But the educational part of it, though, since they introduced that, that's a bunch of feminists did that, because feminists normally have education. Because in college, they had no distraction because no man wanted to date them. So that's their way of getting their own back. It's like, oh, you think you're beautiful? But you know what the capital of Zimbabwe is? And that's the way how they can get back at a lot of pretty girls, because a lot of pretty girls didn't have education.
Okay,
That's the only reason it was brought in, to make ugly women feel better.
Yeah, okay. I don't think I know the capital of Zimbabwe.
Harare.
He just said Harare.
Harare.
Yes.
Okay.
So that means you would have failed. You would never made a Miss Beauty.
You know what's the capital?
pageant.
You know what's the capital? You know what's the capital of Singapore?
Capital of Singapore.
That's a good question. No, why hasn't Singapore got a capital?
Singapore is the capital.
No, Singapore should have a capital.
Where do you think, if you were to suggest right now, where do you think the capital of Singapore is?
Bedok North.
Orchard.
Yeah.
Bedok North.
Simei, I think Simei is quite good.
No, it has to be Orchard.
But anyway, right?
Severe. Near the airport.
Anyway, for the feminine contest, like Miss Universe or Miss World, right, is to judge which woman is more feminist, more feminine. And like how the Mr. World contest is to check who's the man is
More muscular.
Mr. Universe.
Right.
Is there a Mr. World?
Yeah, Mr. Universe, Mr. World, that kind of thing.
I never heard of Mr. World before.
he came out with it himself.
Yeah, how come no Mr. World?
So,
Okay.
so the criteria, right, to judge Mr. World should come from women. Because ultimately, it's the women who judge the men to be the most masculine. For men, the education of the woman is the least of his priorities.
I think
That's
beauty pageants in itself is a problem. Unnecessary lah. We don't need this kind of contest to judge whether a woman is worthy or not. I think that's also
You just check by the eyes only.
subjective. Rabak. Ceng. Wait, can I palm?
Yes, once again, that section of the show where we put the world to rights and we say what is good and what is not good has to go. We're going to start off with Shaiful. Shaiful, something's irking you.
Yeah.
What's up?
All these cash-free zones, no cash accepted, cashless, only that shit lah. I mean, how arrogant are you to suggest that cash is no longer valid?
Where are these places?
A lot of these new businesses lah only accept card or digital payments, and when you omit cash, I'm not against cashless, but if you're so arrogant to think that cash is no longer valid, you're omitting children, elderly, immigrants, people who don't have the means to pay by cashless, omitting drug dealers, cigarette smugglers. In fact, whatever dodgy transaction I have with you, it has to be cash. Right? It's a cash thing. and yeah, it's just so arrogant and messed up lah. That this cash-free zones have to exist. I mean, it's great to be able to pay digitally, but don't be so arrogant until you cannot accept $2 notes anymore lah.
Mm.
I mean, cash-free zone is not new to me. I've been cash-free for the last 2 decades.
I've been cashless for a very long time.
MRT? You
MRT,
cannot buy with cash anymore.
you cannot even go to the counter and buy a ticket for one way. You have to have your card activated or buy like a travel card. Yeah.
Oh,
And I find that very, very arrogant of Singapore to
But
do
why
that.
can't you learn like the American? They just jump over the gantry.
I can jump. I confirm kena caught. The clumsiness that I have now is yeah.
Yeah.
You won't get away with that here.
So the only reason why you wouldn't jump off the gantry,
It's lack of fitness.
lack of
I would. The intention is there. Yeah. The capability is not there.
Damn.
Yeah, it'd be interesting though that you could buy contraband cigarettes in a cashless way though. And you don't have to get caught. I can share there was one time where I used to buy contraband cigarettes. Right? Who sold it to me was selling it at
You know this is live on the.
yeah.
We're not quite
Used
live.
to. Remember used to.
It's not live, but
Used to.
He was selling for
You know,
$6.50.
the statute of limitation is like 15 years in Singapore, right?
Yes. So $6.50, I bought 3 packets. So times 3, I had to do some maths. I took out cash, started counting, and customs came in and caught me. Customs.
So you're caught already, so it's okay.
Caught already.
Okay.
Cannot
And
charge
then-
before already.
Judge already.
No, confiscated.
Oh, that's good.
Customs.
Oh, when it comes to
That's difference, huh? Customs will confiscate. ICA will summon you. So now I don't do such. I've been a good boy now for a while, just in case anybody want to pauto.
Yeah,
But
disclaimer, he's already a good boy. He was talking
Yes,
about some
good boy.
old
Yes.
so-called fictional situation.
Hypothetical. Fictional is stretching it.
Yeah.
So this is why I say that cash-free zones has to go, or rather, the ideation of cash-free zones has to go.
Alright.
Yay!
Yeah, so there's one Sunday after going to church, feeling holy and everything, so I was hungry, and then I decided to go lunch with my friend. So we went to this food court, and then lunchtime on Sunday at the family shopping mall is always very busy, right? So we were walking around the food court and then looking for a table. And then finally we saw a table of 6, and then only 2, I would say, old women sitting on 2 other chairs, and then so other 4 seats are free, right? So we say, hey, wow, can find a seat. So I went to the 2 women and said that, hey, out of courtesy, can I take the other 2 seats, the other side? And then the woman tell me, say, sorry, cannot, because we got something private to discuss.
Are they talking about you?
Maybe they were shy, maybe the old woman see me so handsome.
Maybe they're checking you out and lusting
Woman
over you.
problem.
No, if you have something private to discuss, go home and discuss, or discuss something. You are in a public food court. How can you reject my, sharing of table? No, you can give me some other reason. I don't say that you are talking something private.
What?
She was honest.
Maybe they're planning a crime.
But they are Chinese.
But
They
let me
are
understand
not.
something.
They are not the other races in Singapore.
But let me understand something, right? You said there were 6 seats, right?
Yeah,
So like,
those
Was it
long
one-
table.
so was it like 3 one side and 3 the
Yeah,
other
that
side?
kind.
Right, and they were sat on 2 here,
Facing each
facing.
other.
So there's 4 empty seats here.
So me and my friend were on the seat at the other extreme end. So it's fine, right? That's somewhere, but you say no.
So why did you ask if you could sit there? Because that's very far away.
Because as a very modern Chinese guy, I have the fake courtesy, right?
Bro, don't bluff. Don't bluff, bro. You don't
Even though I'm the majority, I can just bloody sit there. But I have the fake courtesy.
Bro,
Right?
don't bluff. You want to talk to them to make conversation.
No, but it's an old woman.
You all what?
Well,
You also.
Yeah.
yeah. See, how old is old? Like 92.
Actually, sometimes I forget that I'm almost 50 years old already. I also forget.
So how old are they? Like
I
92?
think at that time they look maybe. I think maybe they are 50, but they look 60 plus.
Well, no.
Confirm they're talking about you. Confirm they're talking about 100%.
So,
Bro.
after that, you still sit there or what?
No, I didn't sit because it was a Sunday. I was very holy, so I didn't feel like confronting anyone. So I decided to look for another table. So luckily, I managed to find another table. But and that happens a few years ago. The fact, okay, I mean, God asked me don't remember all these things, but then I cannot. I'm only human, so. But I remember this. I said, how can anyone in Singapore, all this, we all Singapore, we like to chop table, all these things, right? We share table, right? How can anyone give me a ridiculous reason like this not to share table with me? This is going against our national pledge. Right? I mean,
But why do you tell them that, yeah, don't worry, I don't really care about what you're talking about.
yeah, but because, like I say, it was a Sunday, so I didn't want to hurt them. Yeah. So I think this person who gives stupid and ridiculous reason for not sharing table at like public food places, right? This old woman has to go.
They probably went already lah.
Yeah.
Since they were all dying.
Going soon, they're going soon.
I saw a TV screen in my gym. There is it's a female weightlifting competition. Okay. So have you all seen a male weightlifting competition? Okay, the guy will carry, then the sound will come and then he will just drop weight, right? For the women, when they carry the weight, there's about 5 guys standing next to the woman. And then the moment she carries up, right, she doesn't drop off the weight. The other guys will come and help her carry the weight.
Sure not.
Yes.
Really, I didn't notice
Okay,
that.
I'll find the clip. Please share the clip. So it's like 5 guys. So the moment the woman carries up, right, there's only 2 guys holding the thing for her.
But it's nothing wrong. The competition is called weightlifting, never say the weight dropping. So they only lift.
Yeah. So, but if you need 5 men to carry the weight for you, what is the point of this exercise? Can I check with you all?
No, I didn't know that happened. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
I saw the video in my gym.
In Olympics, I see the women weightlifting, they just drop the thing themselves. So.
No, there's like 5 men next to help her carry the weight.
That's
So
very
what's the
odd.
point? Okay, first of all, right, what's the point of females carrying weights? How is it going to come to real life? The maximum weight that a female have to carry is 20 kg. Right? A baby.
The baby is 20 kg.
What? That's a big baby, man.
Oh, baby or Barbie? Barbie. Oh, Barbie, yeah.
Baby 20 kg.
But
They're not fat babies?
20 kg baby.
What's the baby?
What the hell?
In 1977, the doctor told my mom I was the fattest baby and I was only 9 kg.
Okay.
9 kg?
Oh, sorry,
That's
9 pounds. 9
9
pounds.
pounds? Jesus, I was saying, what kind of baby were you?
Barbie.
Okay, what's the normal size of a baby?
Okay, the average baby might be
3 kg.
3 to 4 kg.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
lah.
mean, eight,
All never carry baby.
okay, you got no kids, right?
What about a baby with a
Okay,
big
female viewers who were pregnant before, please tell us what's the average. But I'm sure it's around 3 or 4 kg.
Yeah, because about 7, 8 pounds, right? 7, 8 pounds converts to about 3 to 4 kg.
Okay, so
Doing
the only
maths
weight
now, bro.
that a woman has to carry is 4 kg.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, right, any woman who wants to carry heavy weight just has to learn how to smile and say politely to a guy to help her carry the stuff. And a guy will carry, simp or not simp.
I think women should at least do some weightlifting just to build strength. So
As
that
a competition,
as a competition,
when they're carrying it
I don't
so
know.
heavy that they need 5 people
That one different
to help
story.
them balance the weight and all that.
No,
But-
so, no, you just mentioned you just mentioned a husband and children, right? A very big question I've always thought about this. Would you marry a woman that is stronger than you? Would you marry a powerlifter?
Physically. Yeah.
Physically stronger than you, right? So she's a powerlifter, but you're a normal guy. Can you marry a woman?
No, I will.
Actually-
I will. Because finally, for once, then she can carry my handbag instead of me.
I think NS Young's a bit light in his sneakers.
But does this girl have does she look feminine or does she look masculine?
You can look how you want. Can you marry a woman that is physically stronger than you?
I can marry a woman that's physically stronger than me.
You could.
Supergirl. I have a Supergirl fantasy.
Oh.
Okay, listen, this is not fantasy work. We're talking about reality here on planet Earth, not Krypton,
If there's
right?
a Supergirl stronger than me, she can beat the shit out of me, right? I wouldn't mind marrying her or being her
Slave.
boyfriend,
Okay.
or in this case, her.
Right?
I don't mind, provided she looks feminine and she's attractive to me.
Okay.
But so, Shaiful, you could date a woman that's physically stronger than you?
I have been attracted to women who can pretty much kick my ass. Not okay. I'm attracted. I wouldn't be attracted to a masculine-looking woman, but I know women who are like in
Strong,
some way
So,
street
about-
fighters or some way. I've been attracted to them. Yes,
Oh,
So,
okay. Those
You
fighters
mean
are-
beat your ass in a sexual way or the
both.
or both? Okay.
Any way, man.
Okay, I
The
can
palm,
see
full
where you
palm.
guys are accepting this. But I don't believe any of you would marry a woman that could beat you. I don't believe any of you.
No, you see, that's the thing. I don't have to fight with her in physical strength to win her. I just have to talk, and she will herself.
No, we're talking about the woman, not us.
So basically, in my logic,
If I marry a girl who's stronger than me,
mm,
I don't have to use violence to beat her. If I use violence, I'll lose, right? But I don't have to. I can talk. I'll
Yeah, so-
keep talking until she kills herself.
so
No, she would
I-
probably
I-
kill you. The
I-
fact is you can't
probably
stop
lah.
her.
For me, if a girl who is strong enough to kick my ass would be able to fall for me, it means there's
I'm
true
not
love.
talking
There's
about-
true love somewhere there,
No,
right?
no, I'm not talking about kicking your ass, right? She could be a jiu-jitsu expert.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right. I'm talking about a woman who's physically stronger than you.
Yeah. I would. I mean, not all, but
No, actually, I take that back. If a woman could beat you in a fight, you'd marry her.
yes.
No, if a woman can beat me in a fight, okay, first of all, why am I in a fight with a woman?
Mhm.
But if I'm in a fight with her, or she's some martial artist, she's a very good fighter, and I'm with her, and I know she can beat me anytime, that wouldn't stop me from wanting to.
Okay, I can tell you why this is not true in the acid test. You notice that all female karate champions, look at whoever it is, right? They're always married to their trainer.
Okay.
So
Men don't accept this.
I can be a
Okay,
trainer.
guys, female karate champions over there. We need to prove this theory wrong. So
Yeah.
fine.
But only if you're hot, by the way, because
Yeah,
this guy, right?
Yeah, you gotta be hot.
If you're an MMA fighter and you're attracted to that, colored comedian and like his jokes,
Who you call it a color comedian?
Generalization
comedian of
lah.
color.
Generalization.
Comedian of color.
Comedian of color.
Alamak, politically correct pula
Okay,
itu.
anyway, guys,
Yo.
what I'm trying to say is this. Okay? Sports that does not relate to real life activities. That means weightlifting for a woman is just not a feasible activity. A woman doesn't have to carry weights. She can just get a guy to carry the weights for her.
But you're convoluting sport with life.
What's the point?
But no
See,
man has to carry weights, really.
Yeah, if you say like that,
So
then
the-
who in real life will kick a ball around 11 people?
Yeah, we don't really need to play football either, do we?
Yeah, we had this podcast where I said no need soccer anymore, right?
Yeah.
I'm being consistent here, right?
Right, and we called you a tosser then.
What's it?
We called you a back then. Wanker.
Okay. How do you know that my dick is so heavy? Yeah, but anyway.
That's got nothing to do with weightage. Anyway, carry on.
Anyway, so I feel that sports, right, that does not give the true essence of life. So that means weightlifting for a man is a very important thing to show his masculinity.
Right.
Okay? Other sports like running is good for women. Sometimes women have to run away from people, right? So running is a very important thing. So being a good runner shows that you're good in life for some reason.
Yeah.
So I think people who come out with sports for women that doesn't really transcend in real life has to go.
Thanks so much for watching the Unfiltered podcast. Remember to hit that notification bell, subscribe, and most importantly, like, as that really helps our channel to grow. We'll see you again real soon.